Alright, so in this video what we're going to do is continue on our Ignition Designer, and this is our batching station that we did, and again we're trying to retrofit it from our factory talk example. So we're not going to really add our cooling because I'm not going to have a PID in it. Well, I may, but as of right now, let's just get the flows, and let's go ahead and get, if the batch is active, we can maybe even throw the speeds in there, the pump speeds if we want. What I've done is I'm going to come in here and take away some of the stuff that I feel like we just don't need because it's duplicated. Like this right here, it was already saying 99%, 92%, 96%. The batch start, I believe, should be batch start stop should be something, you know, like something like that. And even if we were to align those, right? So if we want to align them to the top, we can do that, and then put the fault reset in the center. That gives it a little bit better viewpoint. It looks better. I mean, it's cleaner. I've added some things to indicate what they are. So again, operator friendly. You got to think about, if an operator is going to use this, they need to understand what is going on. And that goes and coincides with AVO2, AVO1, you know, just the proper names to things, right? And again, when it comes down to it, right, we definitely want to have this close to, close to our factory talk example. So with that said, let's go ahead and see if we can't add the pump speed in there. Let's see what tag I use for pump speed, and that way we can verify that. So I use velocity. So I'm using, in this example that I built years ago, I used a virtual axis, right? So this is everything you're seeing here is like pump. If it's pump _3, it's going to be an actual velocity, or IP would be in process, right? So IP would be running. So we can come over here and do that. So with that said, we already have the pump information in there, the MAJ, but we do need to have the pump speed. Let's see, what did we have? We had the velocity. Okay, so I need the servo velocity. So let's go ahead and get browse tags again, come over here, ignition devices, controller, and this is going to be the pump 1 itself all together, pump 2 all together, pump 3 all together. So these are the actual servos, so they would have the velocity and stuff like that. So either way, so that adds that in there. So now we can come in here and add, we can come over here and actually look at this and say, okay, well, we want the actual velocity of the servo, right? So we want to drag this over, and then actually let's grab the tag and drag it over. And for display, we can use a numeric label, or we can use, well, I mean, really depends, right? So numeric label is fine. We're just going to do speed. So, and this will be pump 3, and it's obviously going to be in hertz. So we'll get it just like that, and we could size it a little bit better. And I don't want to get too picky on this stuff, but you know, the better it looks, the better it looks. So let's just see. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so that's pretty even. And then I'm real big on this. So keep in mind, I want to center justify things, right? So when we thought about this before, when we did this, we come in and we looked at horizontal. I believe it was center, right? And we want to have it centered. I like everything centered. I mean, it just looks better. And then we're going to paste that again, come over here. This is going to be a different tag. So in this atmosphere, this one is going to be, well, let's see what the tag is actually attached to it. And we can see there's a tag right here for a value right here. So we're going to come over here and change that to pump. Actually, that was pump 1. Okay, so actually we put pump 1 here. Pump 2 is what we need. We need to change this one to pump 3. Okay, so you look for, again, you come down here and you look in your attributes, or you look in your visual properties, and then you want to look for what is going to be linked. You see this little link over here, and then you're going to come over here. So now I need to change this to pump 3, right? So pump 3 actual velocity, that gets that. And let's see, engineering unit, actually what was that attached to? Unit, yeah, I don't believe that should be like that. And if it's unit, then we'll just do that. But okay, so this next one, we're going to come over here and put this down here right beside this. Come over here, paste that again, and this will be pump 2. So this would be basically given the speeds of the pumps, right? All right, so let's come over here, find out where it's linked. We want to change from pump 1 to pump 2, and actual velocity again. We want to change the unit again because it's at the wrong unit. So we want to come over here to pump 2, and then velocity, and then engineering unit, and see how that corresponds. Currently nothing is running, so we can actually put little indicators outside of here too, like say for instance like a text or something. We can do a text field to say, you know, this right here, and have it over here like this. And for the text, we want to have, let's see if we can get the foreground, or let's see if we can get it transparent. So the background I want basically transparent, but I can't. Let me see if I can get that. Let's see, font, and then we got the color, edits, and then we're going to go and change non-editable background. Yeah, I want trim, so that's what I'm really after. I mean, I really don't mind putting it in there, but I mean, it's just going to be typed in as hertz, right? So, and this will be called hertz. And then what's it gonna, you know, be called, you know? So that's what we need to come in here and still install, right? So this is the text data, and this is going to be hertz. So this being text, why is it not showing? Oh, because I changed the font. Let's just say the foreground color. Foreground color should be, there we go, that stands out nice and good. Background color white, and we can even bold that if we want, right? So font, you want to bold, you can do that. And then we can come over here and align these two, come over here and align to top if we want, and that would just kind of indicates, you know, hey, that's hertz, right? And some of these, you know, obviously, maybe let's put the speed up here for this one, and put that right there for that one. And let's come over here and do the same thing, match the top, right? So again, keeping everything nice and orderly. And this over here is going to be hertz again. And then we'll come over here and align. Okay, so now we have all of our stuff in here pretty much lined out the way we want it. Let's see, comment focus. Let's see, prefer updates. I'm trying to see if we can get that border. Okay, border, we want no border. That's what it was. So no border. And I want no border on these. So it looks a lot better. No border. Let's see, we can do line border, no border on that as well. Let's put that back to where it was. But again, this is going to have a color to it, so we can put that at a white foreground. Let's see, foreground, we want this to be white, and then foreground is fine like that, but then we want no border, right? So line border, no border. So then we can scoot our hertz up, right, and make that look just that more professional. So same thing here. Okay, no border, no border. Come in here and change this to white and pull that back up, and then scoot this over so that it gives the hertz. And then same thing here, no border. Again, makes it look so much better, right? It's just a matter of coming in here and doing your due diligence to edit. And sometimes that's pretty, sometimes it takes a while, sometimes it's daunting. You know, there is no real way around that, right? So it's just making, you know, do you want to take pride in your work, or do you want it to look good? You want the operators to easily understand it and stuff like that. I believe we should come over here and do no border for these as well. Let's say that pump 1, and then we'll do that for no border for pump 2, no border for pump 3. And I like the way this is coming together a lot better if you do no borders, because it makes it look so much cleaner, right? And I'm sure a lot of you guys would agree that it makes it look so much cleaner. So what we're going to do is we have no borders now. So what we can do is we'll save our information, and then we're going to go ahead and run another batch. Okay. So now we're going to go ahead and run the batch. So what should happen is AVO1 cuts on, the pump cuts on after AVO3 cuts on. You can see that we do have flow going through from the actual master batch tank to the actual mixing tank. Again, you've seen that in the last video. If you watched the last video, you can actually see the hertz right here now. So I kind of want to scoot this over a little bit better, and then scoot that right there. Maybe align it a little bit better. Okay, so there's the hertz, and we'll do the same thing here. Give this a little bit space. Give that a little bit of space, and then come back up here. So pump 1 is running 25 hertz. It doesn't look like this is centered though. So what I want to do is get all 3 of these, if I can, and we'll do bottom. Yeah, we'll do bottom. Actually, we can do top. That didn't really change much, so let's escalate that down a little bit. And we can put it, we can even put a little dash in there that says, you know, 25 hertz or whatever the case may be, but I think it gets the point across, right? And so that therefore this could be over here as well, because all the rest of them are right beside each other. So let's go back to watching our batch. So we're continuing our process, right? And we are using this with the control logics processor. Okay, so this is running a real program. All right, just get everybody on the same page. So you see this is running 25 hertz now. And then so what we can do, again, to get that better in line, we can either center that just like this. I think that does, you know, that kind of looks better. You can't really do that here for the simple fact of, well, I guess I could raise this up. Well, I guess I can't. Anyway, so putting that to a point where we could say put this up here just like this, maybe it looks better up here, right? And then we just use our arrow key and then come over here, and then this could be right here as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. And now, so we've added all of our products, right? So we've added our master batch, we've added our corn syrup, we've added our caffeine. We're going to do a 1 minute mix, okay? And the 1 minute mix is, again, so we have 200 gallons of master batch, which is, you can see is in the mixing tank. We have 100 gallons of corn syrup, which you can see is in the mixing tank, and the 20. So when you add all those together, you get 320 gallons. Now, again, coming over here in the finished product tank, we obviously have you know, close to 20 or a little over 2,400. So with that said, you know, we're making pretty good progress as far as this goes. Now let's just keep in mind I can stop the batch too, right? So I can stop the batch, and that does stop everything, right? That does keep everything in line. So let's just watch the process stop. Now the drive has to settle down, because obviously once you start a PowerFlex drive, the fan cuts on to keep it cool, and once you stop it, it does the same thing, right? So let's move this. I didn't see that overlapping there for a second, and now I do, so I want to get that corrected. All right, so with that said, we have everything in here. So if I wanted to start the batch again, it already knows it has the stuff in there, okay? It already knows it has the stuff in there. It's going to pick back up where it left off. Why is that so? Because the control logics program is already programmed to acknowledge that. So we've hit our 1 minute timer. It's a retentive timer, that's why it successfully did that. Now we're waiting on our 1 minute settle time. And anybody that knows batching, when you have a mixer mixing something, you want to let it settle before you start pumping it, because you don't want to cavitate your pump, right? And most of the time your pumps are not going to be directly under your tank. They're going to be on the side of your tank or something like that. So you really want that product to settle, and that's that 1 minute settle time that we discussed right in here. So we're 45 seconds into the settle time, and as soon as the settle time is done, AVO 6 will open. Again, AVO pump AVO 7 will open, and pump 3 will cut on at 25 hertz. If this said, I could put a flow meter down here, but I didn't, because the simple fact I didn't have one in prior. So you can see it did start, and it started at 25 hertz. Everything is pumping over. You're pumping everything from the mixing tank to the finished product tank. So we have successfully added all of our graphics that we wanted to do. Now the one thing that I didn't do, obviously, is change this to no border. I think it looks better with no border. right? Everything does look a lot better. It's starting to kind of look like an HMI, right? We can change the color of these buttons if we wanted. You know, if we come in here, we could change the button color based upon the tag. So in this effort, I'm just not going to do that. I think we did a good job getting it to where it's at, and you know, for that sake, I mean, everything's running, everything's doing a good job. And I think, you know, as far as this goes, we may end up doing a couple different other things, but we're pretty close to exactly what we have here, excluding the cool water tank for the water jacket over here that we had in the actual factory talk stuff. So with that said, you know, we have made great progress on this in a short period of time. We didn't really kind of, you know, we didn't get into anything really complex, but we did show how to use functions, how to use add tags, tie tags into things, and you know, actually get a batch working, get the whole system functioning the way it should be. So hopefully you learned a lot with that video, and we'll see you guys on the next one.